do some puppy training. So this is Dice. He's a very, very, very nice puppy. Very nice puppy. Most of my time, the first days, is just going to be playing, right? I just want him to love me. Look, boy, you got a good toy. You got a good toy. I'll let him come and go as he wishes. There's a little toy. Oh, this is very sad. Burrito's behind, and he knows that we're training. But this is the room I usually keep him in, so I'm kind of in a bad spot. But I'll work with him afterwards. Thinking about it. Oh, go get it. Good boy, look at you. But you fell. It's hard not to fall. Good boy. So he did. He ran out, he got it, and he came back without it. That's 2/3 of a retrieve. So celebrate what you get, right? Because people get all worked up. Yeah, but he didn't pick up the toy. So what? Pick up the toy. He went, he came back. He'll pick up the toy when the time's right. Go get that. Oh dear. Come on, you did it! You did it! He says, I'm actually going past you, but that's okay. He'll come when he's ready. There, he's ready. The less you take the toy when they come back, the more likely they are to bring it back. Huh. Well, I can go get it. You go get that. And if you do take it, did you see how it was in my hands for just a matter of a second or two? Get the toy out of your hand so he can have it back. Now, since he likes that one and he wants to, let's switch to this one. I'm going to move to the carpet so he's not slipping quite so much. Here, we're going to pull you with a magic mat. He's like, oh, that was fine. There's a phone. What? What do you want? What do you want? Oh, what a good boy. He's a super, super confident puppy. Like some of the stuff you see that tells me that. He sits on my lap facing out. And that sounds like a little thing, but dogs don't put their back to your body like that and face out and chew and stuff unless they're feeling pretty good. So, I mean, he's been here now for 12 hours, so now we're good friends. But even at the airport, he was doing that. He was really very, very easy right off the bat to engage. He was happy. He came out of his little crate. He had 5 seconds of thinking about it, and then he's like, all right, I guess this is home. And he was very good. We do have car chasing, and that will be my #1 priority is to deal with that, because that's kind of a big deal. It's a huge safety issue. And it's, in his case, it's pronounced. So what I'm doing is taking handfuls of food. I went down to the road, and I try to feed him before, like when he sees the car. It's kind of like a look at that kind of thing, except I'm not really marking it. I'm just trying to feed him, turn him away. That works for a reasonable percentage, but then there are some that are too loud and the food doesn't register for him and he loses it a little bit. Those I pick him up and turn him away, because I absolutely positively do not want him to develop the habit in any way, shape, or form of chasing cars. It just can't happen. So the trick is that it will never happen. He will never have a good time doing that, and that makes it pretty much less likely that we're going to have a problem with that. Oh, just a good toy. That's a good toy. Yeah, look at you with your fine toy. Look at you. I have another one over here, because there's toys everywhere I look. Everywhere I look. Yes, good boy. Most of the time, play with the puppy and just leave the toy alone. I mean, you can play with the toy. Get that toy. But you don't have to play long games of tug. Because really, tug is the easy part. It's bringing it back. That's the hard part. And the harder you play, the more possessive they become. The more possessive they become, the less likely they are to return. Get that. He bites. He bites a lot. That's because he's supposed to. He's a working bred dog, but I'm already kind of bloody through my hands, and I'm actually pretty good at this. So mostly I ignore it, and I just really, really work to redirect, right? So I get out a toy, and I'm like, how about this instead of my hand, my arm, my body? You can't wear like pajama pants. You can't wear fluffy things, because he just gets them and then it's over. So, and getting them off is not easy. So what you want is, as much as possible, have a toy on your body. This is an error of mine. I'm not in the habit of carrying toys, but I have to always have something in my pocket or in my pants. Otherwise, he comes up behind me and he grabs my leg or whatever, and then, you know, ouch. And it actually really hurts. So even a little puppy can do a pretty good number on you. Huh. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. Look how cute you are. You're the cutest of them all. You're the cutest of them all. Yes, you are. Are you cute? Okay, let's do a little food training. We'll start with, I don't want to start with shaping. I just don't think we're quite there yet. I don't think we have enough relationship.
I don't think he has enough mental brain power yet to do that. I mean, it's not that he couldn't, I just don't really want him to have to work that hard. Because at this age, what he's going to want to do is eat the food, right? So why not just do luring, which makes it really, really simple. And then in a few days or a week or whatever, I can start doing stuff where he has to concentrate and say, rather than just staring at the food on the table, I have to do a thing, like look at mom or something, and then I'm going to get the food. But I think that could potentially lead to frustration right now, just because of his age and who he is, right? He's just a baby. So I would rather that he not have any frustration around me, especially at this age. So why not just lure? So he's just winning and winning and winning and winning. There's lots of time to get to all kinds of training, but I don't need to do that now. So I actually do have food in my pocket. We're going to start with pocket hand. We've talked about this a billion times. It's the perfect thing to start with because the cookie is in these fingers upside down, and he has to find it. In order to find it, he will end up straight in heel position, and at his age, he'll learn this in a matter of minutes. Do you want a cookie? He says, I do. Now watch what's going to happen. He just has to come around the back. And there it is. Good. And there it is. You're so smart. You're so smart. There's a big crunchy one, huh? Who's a lucky puppy? And there's your heel position. It's so tasty. That's so tasty. Don't worry, little dog. You're next, I promise. And as soon as that head comes up, good boy, look at you. So he learns that he has to come around the back and goes, you're smart. Yes, you are. Look at you. Look at you, yay. So we just put him in position and he's learning. We eat from the inside of the hand, not the outside. Fingers are facing, look at you, you're just so fast. Yes, you are. All right, let's do some from the front. There, look at that little baby duck. Super, super. Very good. A couple more in heel position, and then we're going to maybe work on down. Ready? Okay. Good job. Good job. Well done. Well done. Now watch him figure it out. Did you see that? Did you see how easy it is to do that? Now let's try going sideways, watch. Did you see how he came under my hand? Puppies are super smart, so take advantage of that, right? They want to learn. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Because I have a plan for him, I'm only going to do the left side. And the reason is I'm going to teach him braille healing on the right, which means contact healing, looking away rather than up. I'm doing that for a sport. So normally, if I wasn't going to do that, I would actually teach this on both sides to keep the puppy balanced. Well done. Want to try something else? Who's a star? Okay, the way I do a lured down, I think you can see him. Cookie, under, puppy's nose goes to the ground, give him the cookie. Don't worry about the fact that he didn't drop, that's not important. His nose went down, that's what I'm looking for right now. Nose goes down, cookie. Do you see how my hand, I'm making a bridge over the top of his nose? Do you see how I'm making a little, good job. I make a little pocket like that. And if he stays there, I'll give him another one. Good. Who's a good puppy? I want him to be super comfortable with handling. That's why I've got my hands all over his head. I want that to be okay with him. It shouldn't upset him. So, hand down over the top of his nose. And did you see how he naturally backed up? Good boy. If you stay there, you can have more. Who's a good boy? Your hand over the bridge, push him backwards. You got that one. It doesn't matter if you do. Oh, that was good. That was good. I have to ask Dawn if she worked on this because I've never done it. So he's doing really well. Okay. Cookie, make a bridge, get his nose, push him back, feed him. Now let's work on a release. When he's done chewing this one, ready? Okay, good boy, Cookie. And then we go back to the other one. The harder we push pushes to get the cookie, the more likely he is to drop. It's a leverage thing. Good. Okay. Cookie. And see, it's in here. Over the top of his nose, push him back, and plop, down he goes. Cookie. Okay. Yay! Get that to him. You're going to have a toy again. Because, I don't know, now I've had food. That's okay. So that's something you want to think about. Don't train hungry puppies, because if you do, you can't get them back on the toy, right? Because now they're hungry. And so when you say, well, let's play, they're like, no, I want to eat. And the problem isn't so much for the puppy, it's for the human, because then what the human does is said, oh, it was so fun to train you with food, and you were so cooperative, but I think I'll just go back to it. And now very soon, you have a dog who won't work for toys. So don't do that. Now we're working for toys. Let's say he said, I don't want to work for the toy. That wouldn't bother me at all. And by the way, I misspoke. I don't mean work for the toy. In your mouth. I meant play, because work and play are all kind of the same with the toy. But if he had turned me down, that would have been fine. I'm not upset or anything. I'm just not going to go back to more toy, more food, huh? What you got? Who's the best? Who's the best? Here, I'm going to sit on the floor so you can more easily sit on my lap if you want to. Do you want to sit on my lap? Do you want to sit on my lap, pumpkin? Huh? You got a fine toy. You have a fine toy, little one. Look at you with your fine toy. Look at you with your fine toy. Oh, he's a clever guy. He's a clever guy. Yes, he is. I love how he stays near me. He has such a nice disposition. He is such a nice puppy. Even though he's not sure he wants to share, he's not leaving me. So he could take the toy and run off. If he did, at this age for a few days, I would just let him. I didn't, whatever. I would stay in here with other toys and try to incite him into coming back, because I have other cool toys to play with. But it's neither here nor there. So if after a week or two that wasn't working, that just going quiet when he left and waiting for him to come back and then making a big fuss when he returns, then what I would do is put him on a leash or train in a much, much smaller space. Oh, look at you. It's so big. You're just so cute. That's a good boy. That's a good boy. So this, to my dogs, means bring me your toy. Okay, there. And you teach that. Here, push him away, bring him back. Push him away, bring him back. You're so good. Do you see how I'm pushing in? He's coming back to me. That was really nice. He did a nice job. Look at you. Now I'm going to turn him so you can see. So, except you flopped. You flopped. Oh, look at you being so good. Look at you being so good. You're the best. You're the best. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. You're so smart. You're so smart. Can I have it? I'm going to get your... Oh, good boy. Good boy. Anything he does that comes up into my hand, he's a good boy. We have a little party celebration. Okay, let's keep that in your mouth because you're dangerous. There, now watch. Push him away. He comes back. That's what you want to learn, right? Push, he comes back. Push, he comes back. You did. You did. You're the best. Ow, that's a hard bite. That's a hard mouth you got there. Yeah. Isn't he lovely? His breeder is Kundert, and she's Wildrose Belgians. And I really wanted this combination. So we had talked months ago. And I said, I would really like it if you bred this female to that male. And she said, well, by sheer coincidence, that's exactly the combination I was planning. So the stars aligned, right? And I got my made-to-order puppy, right? I got exactly what I asked for, and then I described what I wanted, and I'd say she did a pretty good job. Pretty much got exactly what I wanted. And he's gonna have issues because they all do. So for example, the car chasing, but every puppy, there's always things, and that's your job, is to take what you have and grow the pieces that are really great, and work on the things you're not as happy about and see them right away. So the trick here is seeing the problems at 8 weeks. So you can start gently just working through the things that matter. Don't obsess over the problems, but be very aware, and be very aware of how important different problems are. Because, let's not do that. Some problems you really want to nip in the bud. Car chasing is an excellent example because it's so self-reinforcing to the dog. It would be like letting your dog climb up on your table and eat a roast. You just don't let that one start up. Other things, yeah, you get to them when you get to them. I really believe in bringing out the best in the puppy, so I don't try to make shy dogs sociable. I think that's just, I don't know, at the very least disrespectful. I just try to make them comfortable in their own skin. But he doesn't have anything like that. He's just really very, very balanced, very, very nice. He was beautifully raised. She had a webcam, so we could watch him. And just every day there was things hanging in his pen and all kinds of stimulation. In my opinion, if a dog is genetically very good, you don't even have to do all that. You'll still have a good dog. But if you do that, you'll really help the ones that are a little bit soft, a little weak, and it'll really help you see the puppies. You'll know them better because you'll have more opportunities to notice, oh, that one got upset when the balloon moved or whatever. And I like to see it because I know that means the breeder's spending a lot of time with the dogs. So that kind of enrichment probably helps you maximize what your genetics are. I'm a big, big, big believer in genetics. I really put my money on that side in general. So if you start with good genetics and then you have a breeder who's really working to develop the puppies, doing things with them and spending time with them and adding little stressors and changing their environment so their lives are interesting, I think you would certainly bring out curiosity, because I've certainly seen it in human children. The ones who do more things and are exposed to more things and go more places have more curiosity and a brighter outlook on life. So, dogs aren't people, but I think there's a pretty strong similarity. So, those are some things to work on. I am more than willing to share my puppy with you. And I will train him as best I can. I'll do Facebook Lives for you. And I'll do some recordings for myself because I need them for conferences and stuff. I need material to work with. This morning he was kind of a biting machine, and it was classic, just go from one thing to the next, and I couldn't really stop it. I wish I'd had a video camera at that point so that I can tell people how you kind of manage that. I don't get upset, just the way it is. So that's it. If you have any questions about him or what I'm doing, you can ask me and I'll see what I can do. I'll come up closer to the camera because I don't even think I can see it from here. Or about what path I'll take. I had him and the big dogs in the backyard just now. So much easier in the yard because there's space. Inside a house you have walls, you have people, you have objects, you have pressure, and it's so much harder for dogs to get appropriate distance. I don't generally worry a lot in the yard. He's already figured out they don't want to mess with him. They just don't want to have anything to do with him. And because he's figured that out, he has already started giving appropriate space to them. He usually doesn't come within 3 feet of a dog who's laying down looking at him. He's like, I get it. But he'll run around, and when they learn that he's not going to bother them, they'll relax. And when he learns that they don't want to be bothered and all he has to do is give him space, he'll relax, and then the whole dynamic will improve. I really do allow, let's make this work. We're going to live together. So you have to find a way to make this work. Let me grab some glasses, and then I'll come over and see if you have any questions. There we go. Are you being good? I think he is being good. All right. Yeah, he is kind of big. He's about 14 pounds. He's not oversized for a Belgian, but he's not a little baby. He's a good sized baby. He is the cutest of them all. He is the cutest of them all. He is. He's really quite adorable. For people who picked up late, you can go back and watch Facebook Lives later on. It'll just be on my wall. Will he have a British bark? Yes, absolutely he will, and a very dry sense of humor. Now, the other dogs want to come in now, and normally I would let them, but I'm not going to because I can't really multitask when he's out. If I let them in, I need to be paying attention to what's happening because I don't want him to make bad decisions and then one of the big dogs gets frustrated and upset and responds. He's fine being snapped at. He might as well learn to deal with that, but, Okay, so for the down. Yeah, see, I'm already, if you look at my hand, you can already see he's kind of eating me a little bit. You want this? It's hard because I can't hold it and show you. This is where the nose goes. The dog's nose is here. You want to push this way over the top of their nose. Therefore, the cookie is held here, curved, but once my hand goes this way, it switches to like there. It's not a simple thing. The trick is this, and getting the puppy comfortable, having his nose in that pocket, and then don't push down, push back. And then, since the cookie now is right there, I wonder if I have something. If I had this as the puppy's head, there you go. Yeah, can you see where the cookie is right there? It goes over his nose and down. And the cookie ends up being right where the puppy's mouth would be. Does that make sense right there? So that when you're coming up and over, can you see that cookie? It's right, I'm trying to make it stay put. It's right there. Can you see it? It's on the toy. Right there. I know that's not great. Down in, hands bridge. And then that eventually becomes my settle. So if my dog doesn't settle, I just take my hand over the top of their nose and put them down, and they're fine with that. Burrito and Lyra, that's actually, you could call that a cue. That's my cue to go down. This is gonna be a whole bronze class. Today is busy, watching my classes and watching this. Yeah, you have lots to do. Today's first day of class at FDSA. For those of you who are signing up, go check it out. Oh, great. Well, for those of you who are following my puppy, you're gonna get a lot of free training. What did you call the other type of healing that you plan? Oh, it's a joke. I call it braille healing. That just means leaning on me. It's normally a disparaging term, but I want it. So, and I'll teach him to braille heal on one side and to properly heal on the other. He is adorable. Thank you. I'm totally in love with him. Yes to genetics. Are you planning to do any particular sport? I'd like to do Mondio Ring, which is a protection sport. So I'm going to raise him with that in mind, and I asked for a puppy with that in mind. Thank you, Chelsea. He is a lovely puppy. How did the transportation work out? I think we might have been on plan G for all I know. It was very difficult to get him here. And yesterday was the last day he could fly on Delta. And I knew that, and they canceled 18 out of 32 flights out of my airport. So it was, I'm starting to hyperventilate just thinking about it. It was incredibly stressful. And thank you to all the people who were involved in giving me inside information about what was happening at Delta, so that I wasn't quite as I was still pretty panicky, but he's here. I know some people are saying to me, well, can you tell me how you did it so I can do it? I can just tell you right now, things are changing day by day. So my next plan was to drive there and pick him up if this hadn't worked. And as of today, I would not have legally been allowed to do that because you cannot drive more than 5 miles from your house unless you have a reason. So he was meant to be, right? But I can't tell other people how best to get the puppy to you because I don't know what your situations are going to be. It's tough right now. It's very, very hard. Hi. Marvel is 9 pounds. No, he's a big guy. He's a big guy. So now I'm in a dangerous situation because he came over to visit me and I'm not holding a toy, and that scares me. Would you use this type of training with a softer, less confident puppy? It depends which type you mean. Everything I've done here now, I would do with any puppy, except I would modify it if I was making the puppy uncomfortable. He's 8 weeks old. He is lovely. All right, you have any questions? You can ask. So next, I'll do one more little bout of pocket hand so I can see if he's learned, right? I bet he has, because puppies, man, you do something once or twice, and they have it. Ready? So I place the fingers, boop, 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 and let him figure it out. And there he goes. See how easy? So smart. Look at you being the most clever of them all. Look at you. Look at you. Look at you. Huh? And I just wait till his feet are off of me, and then I release the food. Who's a smarty pants? Who's a smarty pants? You are. There. That's it. That's so smart. Can you go through my legs? There you go. Good boy. At this age, some puppies don't know how to get the food out of your hand, but he does because Dawn worked with him. So I can tell that he's had, besides the fact that I've seen it on the webcam, I can tell that he's eaten out of somebody's hand before because of how he responds to this. So that's how you get the dog.
Look at you still there in heel position, huh? Yes. Yeah, that's a place we're going to spend a lot of time. Yes, little pumpkin. Isn't he adorable? All right, I'll let you go. I'm not going to do this to you all day, but I could. I would, because, you know, he's damn cute.